So new at noon, one person was injured in a crash between a car and a scooter earlier this morning. The Fargo Police Department says they responded to the accident around 8 a.m. on 17th Avenue South and 17th Street South. Police say a scooter was driving in the street when a car turned in front of it, hitting the scooter. Officers say the operator of the scooter was treated for non-life-threatening injuries at the scene and was taken to the hospital by a friend for additional treatment. The driver of the car was not injured, and this crash remains under investigation. Also new at noon, a Grand Forks man who's charged with several counts of sex crimes against children pled guilty in court today. According to Cass County court documents, Billy Bernard Holt pled guilty to 3 counts of gross sexual imposition for a sexual contact with victims under the age of 15. Holt will serve 78 months in jail and has already received credit for 511 days served.